Sha Tin is up this coming Sunday. 10 races for decision. Paul Lally here with the selections on the race-by-race preview. And the opening race is a Class 5. And we've seen a few of these already this season, but it's to the 1800 metres for the first time. Storm Runners on the class drop, placed 2 from 2 when it comes to this grade. Golden Fairy goes up in trip. Chateau Lapiche is placed twice over the distance. Colourful Barons had a total of 3 starts at the 1800 for a first, a second and a fourth. And Yeah Boy down the bottom has the cheek pieces removed. So a field of 10 to kick us off, Paul, from the end of the back straight, and Golden Fairy shares the lead.
Yeah, look, they don't think they'll go quick, but he likes the lead. Big run to that first bend. Hucker Ratings can come across. Colourful Barons had a run this season already. Leather Master. Mr. Aladdin should be a lot closer in the smaller field. Chateau Lapiche, Smashing Express, Yeah Boy. Storm Runner from the widest draw may have to go back with Super Hong Kong.
Back to last season for the first of the replays. 1st of July it was. Super Hong Kong, Leather Master figure here. They're beaten home though by Mr. Aladdin, who at this stage is just getting into the clear in the white and red colours.
Look, he looked like he's going to win a race pretty shortly, Mr. Aladdin. He's found some consistent form recently with a couple of placings since he's got back to Sha Tin. The last one was over 1650, coming up to the 18. Looks good. And Chateau Lapiche is another one that can run on strongly, and he's drawn nicely in barrier 3. So both these horses have given chances by me.
Now to earlier this season, and plenty of them come out of race 002. As you can see, there is arrows everywhere. Of the 2, 4, 6, 7 backing up from this race, Paul, who's going to appreciate the extra 200 metres this week the most?
Well, I thought the 2 would be Mr. Aladdin, the one we just talked about, and he had to go all the way back. In a smallish field, he's going to be a lot closer. And the one behind him in those green colours with the yellow cap, or green and yellow cap, that's Smashing Express. Now, Smashing Express, the John Size runners normally take a run or so, and he's had this run now under his belt. So his fitness will be a lot stronger. You can see him running over the 1650, so the 1800 looks good. But I thought Mr. Aladdin can win this.
Got one more replay to have a look at. That is Storm Runner. He has had the benefit of a couple of trials, which is the case with most of Pierre Rung's horses. And this is the last one where he runs 4th behind Fortune Racer. Draws 10. Zach Purton does take the ride. Yeah,
look, he's had a couple of seconds in this grade, so he looks capable. He's drawn barrier number 10, so he'll probably have to go back from that draw. Look, I thought some of the others might get first run on him, but he'll be finishing off strongly. So he's hard to leave out in this grade over the distance. He does look like he's a star, and Class 5 looks his go.
That is a good report for Storm Runner. That is the lead up as far as the replays go, and Mr. Aladdin breaks through for you.
I think he can. Look, he's taken a while to do it, but he's found a little bit of consistency, and the distance as he gets older looks ideal for him. Smashing Express, I think, is the main danger, stepping up from the 1650. Storm Runner and Chateau Lapiche, 8615.
Paul with Alexi Biddell's good start to the season to continue with a win in the first at Sha Tin on Sunday. As you can see, it is race number 2. This is a Class 4, but a restricted Class 4, so plenty of these came through the Griffins last season. Field Marshal has the tongue tie on. Motor has no cheek pieces, but blinkers added. Just Follow Me, tongue tie is off. Brett Crawford is the new trainer. Winning Champion, Dashing Morrison, Amazing Grace and Money Tycoon all line up here as horses 5, 6, 7 and 8. Uta Lifeline's had 3 trials since his only start, one of them this season. And Sparkle and Gold gets a better draw. Showed plenty of pace in a trial up at Chongpa, but did fade later in that trial. What about on race day for Sparkle and Gold? Paul, you think he'll go back?
Yeah, like he'll be midfield in the smallest field, I think. Field Marshal was led in all 3 starts as a Griffin last season. I think he'll go forward. He's gone forward in a recent trial. Winning Champion, showing a bit of speed as well. Falcon Hunt is the first starter, but he's gone forward in most of his trials. He's had 4 of them to get him ready. Now, Motor's been slow away in both his trials recently, so we'll just see where he jumps, Motor. But look, he's finished the trials off really well. Then Amazing, I always say Amazing, it's Amazing Grace, midfield. And Dashing Morrison looks like the further the better for him. Just Follow Me, might have to go back from 11.
So I missed the A key typing in the name.
Looks like it, doesn't it?
It does, doesn't it, for Amazing Grace. We're going to start, though, with Field Marshal. Yeah, had him in your numbers quite a few times in his short career. He's only had the 3 starts. Is he going to figure first up on the weekend.
Yeah, I think, look, with this season under his belt, a good third last time behind Alabama Song when he did race as a Griffin. He looks like he's matured with this trial. It's a really nice trial from him. His tongue tie will go on. He's drawn barrier 5, and he can dictate from the front with Zach Purton aboard. So he looks the idea of the winner for me.
There you go. No need to go any further than that to find the winner, Field Marshal. And he is going around with the tongue tie on for the first time for trainer David Hayes. And as Paul said, Zach Purton's going to take the ride. Next up, we have Motor. And this is also up at Chung Fa. He's a horse that got better and better. He's also a horse with the most experience in the race, and he's had 2 trials to prepare.
Yeah, and he's been slow away. So, look, he just needs to jump. He doesn't want to give Field Marshal a head start. As you can see, he's finished off his trials really comfortably as he comes down here. He's drawn 2. The blinkers will go on him for the first time. So hopefully those blinkers have sharpened him a little bit, although he was wearing them in this trial. I think he's the main danger.
Derek Long is the man that rides Motor. Here's the first starter, Falcon Hunter. Just the 2 trials, beaten 9 lengths and disappointing in his first one. He certainly improved at his second one, but got pretty hot this morning. That's him in those black colours sweating up across the breastplates.
Yeah, look, you can see him there, and he sort of was really pushed out at the end of this trial. So I'll be happy to watch him on race day. Look, he should be able to put himself right there. But he was under a bit of pressure to hold a spot there. Being by US Navy flag, you'd think he might want a bit longer in time as well.
No Falcon Hunter for Paul. What about Winning Champion, who did race without a whole lot of luck at times in his short career and first preparation? That's him peeling 3 wide coming up to the home turn. He runs second behind Tourbillon Golfer in this trial.
Yeah, look, he was right on the cusp for me because he's obviously looked okay as a Griffin last season. The trial wasn't too bad as well. He can go forward. He's got Matthew Poon to do the steering on him. So, look, you wouldn't be surprised if he ran a bit of a race. A nice quiet trial from him. We don't know exactly how much was left in the end of it, but he did what he had to do.
There it is. They are the Class 4 restricted lead-up runs for a few of the horses, and it's 1 to beat 2 for you.
Yeah, I'm going to go around the top of the card here. Get 1 Field Marshal to beat the 2 Motor. I'm going to put Dashing Morrison in. I think we'll see this horse better over longer. He's by Morris, but I wanted to give him a chance as well because his debut run wasn't too bad. And then Just Follow Me. Brett Crawford's team started off really well with placings in his first 3 runners, and another one that did show a bit of ability at the back end of last season. 1, 2, 6, 4.
The Purton and Hayes combination on the board early with race 2 for Paul, winning with the toppy, Field Marshal. On to the preview for race number 3, and the third race is a Class 4 and it's over 1,200 metres with Aero Volanic. He won on debut and then was eased down after blundering twice at his second start. Awesome Treasure cheek pieces off. Basic Instinct has the tongue tie off. Proud Boxes on debut. 6 trials, 2 this season. Bright Day, blinkers off and the visor is on for the first time. Top to Sky ran 3rd in his recent trial. And then we've got Elegant Life down the bottom, who has joined the Casper Founds stable. So a field of 12 from the 1,200 metres here, Paul. And looking at the pace, Awesome Treasure loves to go forward, especially with that 10-pound claim.
7 now.
Yes, good point, yes.
Yeah, Brittany Wong on, but yeah, the point is likely to go forward and lead. Bright Day goes forward and Blazon. Noble Fan should get his chance. I mean, Aero Volanic sat in behind when he did win his race, but as you mentioned, did not finish at his second start. Good Peridot really finished off strongly in his debut. Top to Skies tried well recently. Elegant Life likewise. Proud Box will have to go all the way back with Flash Star, I think.
Noble Fans is the only horse in this first replay, and he ran 3rd, and this was on the opening day in pretty ordinary conditions. Covered a bit of ground too, but he had some cover for it. Draws better in barrier number 5, second up. Brenton Avdulla on board for John Size. Yeah,
sometimes they do take a couple of runs to get ready. I mean, with Noble Fans, he's already had a run this season, as we can see. Barrier 5 for him. Did run 3rd here behind Groovy Feeling, who's come out and ran really well a second time as well. So, look, the thing with him, it's he should get a better run, so he'll get his opportunity as well in this.
That's our first replay. Stayed on there, as you can see. Now we've got some trials to look at, and we start with Peridot. Zach Purton takes the ride on this horse for David Hall. Has had just the one start, and he ran third in that race behind Sharing, beaten 2 1/4. This third behind Rattan Galaxy, who has won 2 trials prior to his resumption this season.
Now, he's drawn barrier 1, Peridot, and he was over 100 to 1 on debut, so there was no support for him. But I thought it was a fantastic run from him to finish third. Really outran his price there, obviously. The trial was pretty good. From that inside draw, he's going to get his chance.
That's a good report for Peridot. Next up, we move on to the first start of Proud Box, Hugh Bowman and Chris So. He's 2 trials this season, a 6th behind Parents Love, and then did run 2nd behind Mr Cool, and this is the 2nd to Mr Cool, and he runs later on the same program.
Yeah, he looks a good chance, although he's drawn wide, as has Proud Box. He's drawn wide as well, and you can see him pushed out on this trial. So from barrier number 10 on debut here in Hong Kong, I'm just happy to watch him on his debut. But yeah, he will come on for the trial. That's one positive.
I'll wait and see when it comes to a Proud Box. So that is race number 3. What's your top 4 for this one?
I'm going to go with Peridot. His big price on debut, but look, he outrun that, and his trial's been good. Now, what we haven't talked about is Elegant Life. He's trialled well recently. He's drawn barrier number 2, and he's changed stables. Casper Founds, good 4th behind Allswell at the back end of last season. Awesome Treasure, we Catch Me If You Can. And Top of the Sky, his trial wasn't too bad when he did run 3rd in a recent trial, and he's only had the 2 runs to date, 4, 12, 2 and 9.
That's the first leg of the early treble, race number 3, and Paul with Peridot. Race number 4 is the first of the 2 all-weather races, and this one is for the Class 4 horses, and it's over the 1650. Charming Steed, a 2-time course and distance winner. Fashion Legend has the crossover noseband going back on. Megaforce wears cheek pieces and a tongue tie for the first time. Bright Inheritance, blinkers and shadow roll off. Pacifiers with cowls go on. XL Wong Choi wears a hood again. Amazing Duck was good winning his trial. Leslie placed on the surface 2 runs ago, and Casapapa makes his all-weather debut. We've got Precision Goal leading Paul, and he crosses in front of Charming Steed. Yeah,
Charming Steed goes forward, Precision Goal goes forward, XL Wong Choi goes forward, and Fashion Legend likes to go forward, so that's where the pace in the race is likely to be. Amazing Duck, like, he leads on the turf, but he doesn't normally lead on the surface. All Cash won't be too far away. Casapapa, look, they're finally having a crack at the all-weather with him. He's taken a while to get there. He's how many starts has he had? He's had 30-odd starts, 37 in fact, and this will be his first start on the all-weather. Bright Inheritance gets back at his runs.
It's interview time right now. Nick talking to the trainer of Fashion Legend. It's David Eustace.
David, Fashion Legend, we see an all-weather race, and over this sort of trip, usually he's going to turn up. He looks a decent chance this week.
Yeah, he's had a really nice preparation, Nick, and he's, you know, as you say, sort of become a bit of an all-weather specialist second half of the season, so put in some good performances, and I'm happy with him.
When you look at his record, I think he had the 7 runs. He's never finished worse than 6th on the all-weather, so I know on paper it states that he's finished outside of the top 4, but he's never been far away.
No, he hasn't, and I ran him a couple of times, or certainly once over 12. He ran very well over 12 too, so he's adaptable. But obvious race for him, and he's also won on a rain-affected all-weather track. So if that's the case on Sunday, you know, that won't be a negative anyway.
Yeah, that was his latest win, wasn't it, off of 49. The trial, Richard rode him in the trial. Was he happy with him? He
was, yeah. Both trials have been nice. He's always very honest and very genuine in his trials. So if he wasn't, you'd be worried. But you know, he's very tough, very honest horse. So no, he was happy with him. His actions spot on. So looking forward to it.
And I know, like, for some people, perhaps, you know, they might focus on the turf over the all-weather, but these all-weather races, they're fiercely competitive, aren't they? Even at sort of this level.
Yeah, they are. They're hard to win, and with the nature of the fact that there's, you know, not a lot of them, and they really help horses who find the ground too quick, which he does. You know, he's by deep field. Obviously, a lot of them like it, and a lot of them like cutting the ground. So it's a great option for these horses.
Yeah, it's uncanny the record he's got with all-weather horses. He's going to run in Bon Ho's colours, of course, famous colours. Just a quick update on Glittering Legend. You've also got him in the stable of New Horse, and he'll race in the same colours. Nice horse. How's he doing?
Yeah, he's good. He's just giving him a chance to sort of acclimatise and adapt. Come from Newmarket and racing on tracks that are just that bit softer across the board. So he's going up to Chung Fa, which is great to be able to have that option, and he'll just tick over for 3 or 4 weeks before starting any serious work.
And so I guess in that sort of time frame that you might get a trial in between sort of the next few weeks or so?
Well, no, he's probably, I'm looking at sort of 8 weeks or so to a trial. He's got a nice rating, and I think it's really important that he does adapt to the tracks. If he doesn't, we won't, get him to where we really want to go. So we've got a bit of time on our side and a rating that allows us to do that. So, Bond's happy with that plan, and hopefully we have a smooth run.
That is David Eustace talking a couple of the legend horses. Paul, we're going to move on though to All Cash off his Sha Tin trial on this surface. He comes here on the class drop. Zach Purton, Danny Shum, he hooks to the outside and just goes whoosh.
Yeah, look, he's a Brazilian bred horse, this one, and they shaved 4 rating points off him in the off-season as well. You can see him coming down the outside in this trial. He's on the right surface, there's no question whatsoever, and look, he's going the right way. He's one of the main chances for me in the race.
So he moves up on the outside there and just cruises to the line. So that's the grey All Cash. Next up, we have a trial of Glorious Journey. And looking at his record, he's a horse that wins this trial. Matthew Chadwick rides Frankie Law. He's had just the one go on this surface, and he did place.
He did place. He's only had the one win, though, from his 18 starts. A little bit of an awkward draw as well in barrier number 9. It was just a little query. But the win was over this distance of 1650, so that was at Happy Valley. Let's see if he can come here and now do it on the turf. On the all-weather, I should say.
That's a Glorious Journey's trial. On to Precision Goal. He won't mind this surface. Is a turf trial from him, but he did a great job last season, raced so consistently when he was on the dirt.
Yeah, exactly. Look, his fresh-up record isn't good. If you're looking at a negative there, he's had 3 goes fresh, just been placed on the one time. But from barrier number 4, he's not going to have to work too hard to get to the lead. So he'll get his opportunity once again. The trial was okay, but again, not on his favoured surface.
Carried a little weight that morning. One of the apprentices riding Precision Gold down the back straight at Chung Fa. So they are the trials leading into race number 4. We do have one more race to look at. It's Sight Supreme, who ran 10th at Happy Valley over the 1650. So same distance, but the key for you is the surface switch.
Yeah, look, this is a really good pipe opener for him. He's coming onto the surface now. We did win fresh up on the surface last season as well. He did win off that off a 45 rating. He's dropped all the way down to 42 now. He's got Karis Teaton aboard that really rides this track well from an inside draw. So look, I'll take a chance with him.
There's your on-top selection for the 4th.
Yeah, so we'll go with a well-rated Sight Supreme who has won on the surface in the past. All Cash is going to be the toughest to beat, there's no question with that. Fashion Legend will need some luck from the draw, and Charming Steed normally puts himself right in the race. And the stable's in fantastic form. 13, 3, 4, 1.
And if you're a triple trio punter, race number 4 is Sunday's first leg. Here we go for the preview for the 5th. We're back onto the turf for this race. And at 1,600 metres and a Class 4, we've got the class droppers at the top. Lucker's back and Illuminous. Happy Universe, a last start winner, goes up £8 for it. Mission Strikers minus Blinkers. Pearl of Peng's a last start winner. He too has an extra £8. And here comes the gear changes. 9, Good. Visor off, Blinkers again. 10 Star Bros, cheek pieces off. Special Hedge, visor off, and he's now with Michael Cheng. Ace War has had the blinkers removed. Rosewood Fleetfoot, cheek pieces off. Visor first time. Stable change for Radiant Swift. He's now with Brett Crawford, who has taken off the blinkers. The speed map Paul, and it's a good tempo.
Yeah, look, there's no clear lead here with the Newborn Miracle, a horse who's stepping up to 1,600 metres for the first time, but is bred for it. Pearl of Pangs went forward when he won last start. Special Hedge is likely to go forward as well with Good. Ace Winner Luck is back, likes to go forward, but drawn barrier number 14. Illuminous gets back. Star Bros missed the start last time, and without delay, another one that's likely to go back.
Trial time now. We're going to do the trial of Mission Strike and Rosewood Fleetfoot. Mission Strike ran second in this trial and Rosewood Fleetfoot fourth. He did miss the start on the 28th of June. Did Rosewood Fleetfoot with a lame left hind, and he's had 2 trials out of an informed stable to prepare for.
Yeah, the stable's going nicely now. The key with him was he couldn't settle last time. The horse seems to be a little bit more settled this season, so he'll get his chance. The other one, Mission Strike, I want him over a bit further by done deal. He did race up to 2,000 metres. I think this is just a starting point for him.
We'll move on to the next trial. You mentioned in the speed map that Star Bros missed the start at his most recent outing. He's just back there in those gold colours. The horse in front of him, Special Hedge, goes to the line under a good hold in this too.
Not a bad trial from both these two horses. Star Bros is obviously going to have to be a real good chance in this. Now, Special Hedge is with Michael Chang. He was with Benno Jung, so he's changed stables. As you can see, the jockey sitting up on him. Lyle Hewitson will ride on race day. But Star Bros with Zach Purton aboard. Nice trial from him.
Here is the race where he missed the start, Star Bros. We're just going to pick it up from the turn, and he ends up running third. Pearl of Pangs wins, and then Happy Universe ran fourth out of this race and went on to score. Without delay, would need to improve, and Special Hedge is pretty wide turning for home there. Yeah,
look, Pearl of Pangs, he was building up to this win and managed to finally get the win on the board. He's drawn barrier 10, so he might just have to work a little bit in the early part of the race to get there. You can see Star Bros sort of finishing between horses here. So, look, I've got both those two horses in the mix. Pearl of Pangs just on a minor line. He did take 13 starts to win his race, but he got the job done.
And just a correction on Star Bros, he missed the start at the race after that one, so a correction around him. We've got some track work to show you right now also, Paul, and this is Newborn Miracle who's going forward on the speed map. Yeah, look, he looks like he could lead, and he's stepping up in trip, so he's been running over 1,200 metres. When he did go 1,400 metres last season, he ran a close-up fifth, so the 16 looks ideal for him. So you think he'll be holding him like that coming into this race?
Let's hopefully there is a miracle and he can win the race. I'm going to make him the value play. He should be a decent price. He's had a run this season already. He's a half brother to Pro S, which and she won a Group 1 in Australia and numerous group races in New Zealand as well, over 1,600 metres plus. So the distance looks ideal. Star Bros, obviously the one to beat. Rosewood Fleetfoot, and then Pearl of Pangs, 8, 10, 13, 7.
Paul going for some value in race number 5, the first leg of the 6-up. The trophy race is race number 6. It's the running of the KPMG 80th Anniversary Cup, and we've got Sky Trust. No trials for him. He's first up with the hood coming off. Stanley Express makes his Hong Kong debut. Tin Fook has had 2 trials since his first start. 9th, Victory Sky, cheek pieces off, tongue tie goes on. 1000 Spirit has his first go at Sha Tin. 5 for 2 has blinkers going on, and Shinyu Kokoro has the pacifiers off and the hood going on for the first time. Winner on the speed map, Paul, Wonder Star, he always charges forward.
Yeah, he should lead, shouldn't he? Giant Leap likes to go forward. Sky Trust is back. He's not at his best trip, but he's got a bit of early pace from barrier 3. Stanley Express has been going forward in all his local trials, but is drawn wide. Colourful Night, Shinju Kokoro. 1000 Spirit, run on in both his starts, has had the Redhead King and Flying Knight towards the back.
We start with the likely leader in the race, Wonder Star, but he had Jumbo Treasure in this race and he's an absolute flyer, so had to sit outside of him. Not likely going to be the case, Paul, where he'll be outside the leader this week, but how far will he be in front for? Yeah, that's the query we've got. I haven't got him in the numbers. He is a pace influence, just is going to have to work it, but again from barrier number 11. But he's one of these horses that have come over from Macau and he's been quite consistent. At least he's won a race here as well in Hong Kong. So he's got barrier 11. That was just the off-putting bit for me. And is him just being nabbed by the little horse rising from ashes at the post. Stanley Express, a first starter. He raced under the same name for Clinton McDonald when trained in Australia. Was a winner over the 1200 metres at Caulfield. 2 trials this season, 5 in total since he's been here.
He was really well back that day. There was a bit of a betting plunge on Stanley Express when he did win that race. I don't know if he's quite ready for this. Barrier number 12, again, if he's gone forward in all his trials, it was pushed out a little bit in this trial. So, look, I don't know if he's totally ready or he's settled in. So, as such, I'd like to see him race first. But as I said, he did pull off a massive sort of coup in Australia. So keep an eye on the PMU there for his first start.
And that was Sing Dragon and Packing Hermod 1-2 in that trial, but they were some distance in front of him. Thousand Spirit, first 2 starts at Happy Valley. This is his trial on the all-weather. Is he going to appreciate the switch to the bigger turf track?
What we've seen, I think he will. Now, he's had the 2 starts and he's got back and he's finished strongly at Happy Valley in both those 2 runs. He's drawn barrier number 4, so I think he'll be slightly closer in the run. Nice, easy trial from him. Stayed on there for second, so I think he's one of the leading chances.
And that's Luna Dash winning that trial, so he's lining up on Wednesday night if Thousand Spirit comes out and goes well.
And he's been an even money favourite in both his starts, Luna Dash, so we'll see what he can do on Wednesday night. Maybe Thousand Spirit can spruik that up for him, because I've got him on top to beat another one who's only had a couple of starts, Flying Knight. The Red Hairs hasn't looked too bad in his limited starts. Victory Sky's been costly. He's been a beaten horse. He's been single figures for his last 5 starts and just drawn a little bit awkwardly in barrier. Well, he's drawn barrier 6, so he'll probably get his chance with a tongue tie on. 10-9-7-6.
Paul pretty keen on Thousand Spirit for Lyle Hewitson and Mark Newnham. Here's a look at race number 7 now, and 1400 metres is the distance of this race. And speaking of 14, Mr. Cool, the 1 horse, has drawn barrier number 14. Fighting Machines, a 2-time course and distance winner. Beauty Glory has barrier 10 for the 3rd consecutive start. Solid Win has the tongue tie off. The Ayres, a last start winner, extra £5 for him. Ball Attitudes plays trip. Rattan Galaxy's won 2 trials, and Bling Bling Genius has the blinkers coming off down the bottom as horse number 14. We've got Beauty Glory. Paul, he's another one that just runs to the front.
He does, and he's got a cross from 10 in the past, so that's just to see how much he has to work to get there. But there doesn't look like too much pace underneath him. See, Chariot's gone forward, Bull Attitude's gone forward, and his last couple of starts. Bling Bling Genius likes to go forward, but again, he's even drawn outside Beauty Glory. Superb Guy, Dreyer. Mr. Cool will need luck, there's no question. Solid Win finished off strongly at his last start. And Rattan Galaxy goes back in his races, but has gone forward in recent trials.
He has indeed, Rattan Galaxy, but we're going to the top of the page right now. Nick with the rider of Mr. Cool, Andrea Azzani.
Andrea, Mr. Cool is a ride for you. You've only ridden him the once, but you got a nice tune out of him, albeit in defeat. You must be looking forward to riding him again.
Yeah, he's a lovely horse. Obviously rode him sort of back end last season when he just got beat, and I galloped him a couple of times and I trialled him. His stride was really good. He seems like physically he strengthened up, which he needed. It was a little bit narrow last season, and it feels like this season he sort of filled up into his frame, and yeah, no, very pleased with him.
He absolutely hacked up in that trial, didn't he? I mean, he did it in the style of quite a smart horse, really.
Yeah, I think he's quite nice. His trial was good. We just wanted to see where we were at, whether he was ready to go or not. That's why Frankie asked me to sort of ask him the question to see what we had, and yeah, he picked up quite nicely. It doesn't do a lot when he hits the front. He had a bit of a look. It's still lightly raced, so hopefully there's a bit more improvement.
Frankie's dropping him back to 7 furlongs, 1400 in new money, if you will, for his seasonal reappearance. Shouldn't inconvenience him?
No, I think 1400 is a good start. The horse is probably a little bit fresh, so I think 14 is a good starting point, but yeah, we could have done with a better draw.
Yeah, that leads me on quite nicely. I mean, 14 seems to be the slightly unlucky number with him, because that's where you're drawn. Not ideal, but if you can overcome it, he's going to put himself there, isn't he?
Oh, for sure. I think it's never easy when you got drawn 14 or 14, especially carrying top weight too. I think he's a quite nice horse, but it's his first round of the season, and hopefully if we can overcome the draw, he'll run big.
That's Andrea on Mr. Cool. Opposition includes Paul, winning form around the air, who managed to get the job done last time. Bull Attitude ran 7th. He's had some bad barriers in a short career. Bull Attitude but the air comes from a very informed stable.
It does. Look, it took him 20 starts to win this race, but the way he did it, you're surprised he hasn't won in the past. A strong win from him. Barrier number 2, he's got Vincent Ho aboard. It's just whether he can put two in a row. That's the query. Sometimes these horses can, and they start to go up through the grades. So we'll see if he's one of those. But he got to the front. He was the other horse was coming back at him on the inside, but he did show some bravery there.
He did, and a trial now with Busey Glory doing what he does, leading in the trial, leads on race day. Is there a chance he's going to pinch it in front in this race, or something's just going to give him enough pressure to be vulnerable?
I think Zach Purden will be hoping that you're right there and he can pinch it from the front. It doesn't look like really too many other leaders in the race. I mean, Sea Chariot from barrier 6 can go forward as a possibility as well. And it depends what they do with the Bling Bling Genius from barrier number 13, whether they press on with him and he can get across. But he's a hard horse to peg back sometimes.
There's the replays. Will they peg him back this week, though?
Got him in for second. I just thought Mr. Cool has got plenty of rating points in hand. He just needs a bit of luck from the draw. So he's got Andrea Zini aboard. We heard from him there to do that. But 1 to beat 4. Solid Win was a strong run at his last start. He's another one that's drawn a bit awkwardly. And Inno Super's only had the 2 starts and did improve a lot between start 1 and start 2. 1-4-6-8.
Mr. Cool off the back of that 4-length trial victory as Paul's on top selection for race number 7. Race number 8 is the second of the all-weather races. This one, the higher class race of the pair, and it's a Class 3 1650 Goodfield. Turin Mascot first up, 2 trials. Dragon Air Force is up in trip, as is Ariel from the 1400 on the turf last start. 7-day turnaround for Mojave Desert. Chilkaka has had 2 trials. Endeared West Pacifiers again. New Forest has won both of his trials. Young Brilliance, a 2-time course and distance winner. And Glorious Success has had 2 starts for 2 placings first up, so he's been consistent. Good field here, Paul, and Ariel shares the lead with New Forest.
They both like to lead, and they've had a couple of duels last season, these 2 horses, but with a 7-pound claimer that Ariel has drawn underneath New Forest, I'm sure Brittany Wong will kick up on the inside there. She doesn't like to give away the lead on this all-weather. Chilkaka can sit in behind them. Young Brilliant. Kingdom of Riches has gone forward in the past as well. He could be out of the kickback there. Dragon Air Force, Never Peter Out's won a trial. Rising from Ashes was a good run on the turf last start. And Turin Mascot from barrier 9, I think will go back.
Zach Purton's our man. First up with Nick talking Chilkaka.
Zach Purton, we've got a mixed card coming up on the weekend. You're riding Chilkaka in race number 8. Now, last time out obviously didn't quite go to plan, but he's had a break and hopefully he's over all those ailments. Looking forward to getting on him again?
Well, he was racing well before that and he got himself into a good spot, but he just couldn't close it off, and subsequently he's had a little bit of surgery in the off-season, so hopefully he's striding out a little bit better and he can get back to how he was going before that.
Just from your point of view as a rider, Zach, I mean, it was a wet, slow track that day. If a horse does have a breathing issue, I guess, is that more than likely to say bring it out, given against a quicker surface?
I think more, possibly, but it was more his racing manners. He was quite aggressive in that race, and obviously he was feeling something, so that generally tells you that they're not that comfortable.
You and I not vets, of course, so we shan't elaborate on it too much. What about the trials? Trials have looked pretty good.
His trials have been okay. He hasn't been at his best in the trials. He's needed them. He might need the run. 1650 first time out, but you know, sometimes these horses, after a couple of trials, they can come on quite a bit, and it's early in the season, so a lot of the horses are in the same boat.
Yeah, he certainly looks at a chance, of course, drawn gate number 8. He's a nice ride for you. Just a quick question on Kaying Rising. He had that gallop this morning. I know you weren't on board, but you've spoken to David Hayes, I believe, and all seem to be very positive.
He's very happy. He liked the way that he stretched out, liked the way he pulled up, and he's ready to get on the plane now and go.
I know you're a man who probably keeps a lid on things, but how excited are you to get down there and ride in that race? Obviously, it's a real big deal for the horse and for everyone, and for Hong Kong.
It is. It's been a big build-up, nearly 11 months in the making, really. So it's been a topic of discussion for a long period of time now, and he's continued to put himself forward. It's exciting to go down there, obviously, back to Australia Sydney sort of where I'm from, but representing Hong Kong, where I've been for nearly 2 decades, and there's going to be a lot of people going down there with the horse. So the race is really starting to take shape now. You know, a few of the horses step out on the weekend, so we'll keep a close eye on them. And we've got a good eye on the weather down there as well. It's been a little bit better recently, and hopefully we can get a dry track when we get there. But I'm looking forward to getting down and riding him in the barrier trial on the surface, and that'll give me a better guide on how we think he might handle the track as well.
We move on from Zach and Chilkaka and Kane Rising now, Paul, to a replay of Mojave Desert and Dragon Air Force. This is going back to last weekend, and both of them, as you can see on the graphic, it's 1,200 metres, so the extra 450, will it suit one or both?
Well, you'd think it would suit Mojave Desert the way he's raced, but he's never won over the 1650. He's only had the 2 goes, and he has won one placing over it. But you can see him really finishing off strongly here in this race. Now, Dragon Air Force, you wouldn't think would go 1650, yet he's had 2 goes over it, and he's won one of them. So there's a bit of an enigma there.
There is, as we move on to the trial now for a horse that loves this surface, Never Peter Out. He did a super job when he switched onto it. Keith Young, Frankie Law, the combination. Barry number 3. His first up record doesn't read well, but not entirely sure. Has he raced first up on the all-weather before?
I'd have to have a look at that. But the one thing about Never Peter Out is that he sort of lost his way at the back end of last season. He was winning them in a row at one stage. This is a good trial to show that he's sort of back a bit. He was pushed out a little bit towards the end of it. So, look, he did win 4 times last season, and that sort of put him up the ratings a bit.
All right, that's a breakdown of race number 8. Your selections.
I'm going to go with the Zach Purton mount here in Chilkaka. Hope he's over his issues there. Mojave Desert's finishing off strongly. New Forest from the front. And Rising from Ashes, I'm going to put him in there on a minor line because it was a strong run from him at his last start. And he's coming to the all-weather for only the 2nd time and was placed on his only run there. So he works well on the surface, so he should race well on it as well. 7-4-9-6.
Paul with a resuming win for Chilkaka in race 8, the first leg of the late treble. Class 2, race number 9, and a really good field as you'd expect being a Class 2 race. We have Young Champion at the top of the book who has won 2nd up. Gorgeous win, barrier number 1. Dancing Code, last start winner, carries an extra £5 for it. Call Me Glorious is a first up winner. Tomodachi Kokoro, he's placed first up in the past. We've got Harmony and Bless, the stablemate of Tomodachi Kokoro, down to Midwinter Win, who has no cheek pieces nor tongue tie. Speed here, Paul, with horses like Sing Dragon in the race flying along on the all-weather but going back on the turf.
Especially in this race because there's a lot of speed in it, and he doesn't normally he doesn't normally lead on the turf. Call Me Glorious has won a couple of trials on the leading into this race. Tomodachi Kokoro is all about speed. Baby Crystal, another one that was a lot forward in a recent run, and Harmony and Blessed, unfortunately for him, is drawn wide once again. Dancing Code has actually led in the past, but he won't lead this, you wouldn't have thought. Young Champion, then Sing Dragon, Gorgeous Win a little bit closer. Brave Star, Brent Express, and Midwinter Win, when he was impressive on his debut, he came from last.
And rocketed home to score did Midwinter Win. But Dancing Code has winning form leading into the race. Here's Nick with Casper Founds.
Casper Founds, Dancing Code, a runner for you coming up on the weekend. A horse who I'm hoping, or you're hoping, I'm sure, will start this season off as he finished last.
Yes, Nick, he remains in good form. He had a lovely trial in Chung Fa last week down the straight, and he's got a pretty good record at the 1200 in Sha Tin. So yeah, we're looking forward to the race. He's got a nice soft draw. I'm sure he'll be competitive.
Talking of records, his fresh record isn't too bad either, Cass. A win in 2 seconds from 4 goes. So this is the time to catch him, perhaps?
I think so, yeah. He's in good nick. He looks a treat. He's back in Hong Kong now, arrived yesterday. Very happy with him, and I'm sure he'll give us a big run.
He's up to a mark of 90, and I think rightly so, given what he's done. He's obviously pretty smart, but you've got Ellis on board taking the 5 off, so that certainly helps.
Yeah, Ellis has got a good record on him, won a few races, and they get on well together. So, again, these sort of races, they're always competitive in Hong Kong, but he's a good, honest horse, so I'm sure he'll be there with them.
It certainly is a good competitive race. Of course, talking of you and Ellis, Wednesday night was sort of the nights you dream of around Happy Valley, though obviously that's happened for you before, given your record around there. But 4 winners, fantastic stuff.
Yeah, magic, you know. Anytime you can do 3 or 4 winners in Hong Kong, it's always something that to be proud of, because it's so competitive here. And on that night, it was good for the kid. He rode both horses well in the first 2 races. You know, they won nicely. And my last 2 winners were good as well. So it was good to see the last horse win and get the bonus. So all in all, it's been a good season so far.
It certainly has. Already very fresh into it as well. Just on your team and your stable, obviously the fact you have hit the ground running, I'm sure you're hoping it will continue throughout the course of the season. But nice team assembled, of course. Horses are racing well and everything's going nicely.
At this stage, yeah, we're very happy. We've got some nice new horses in the system that you're always hopeful that they can come out and win a few races for you. And if that's the case, then you set yourself up for a chance to be a title contender. You know, it's very, very open this year. You know, you've got probably 15, 16 stables with the maximum strength. So it's everyone's up to have a winning chance at the title. So, you know, I know how to get it done. I know how to fight. If I'm in the run at the last part, I'll be there. But at this stage, we don't even worry about that. We just worry about keeping the horses healthy and getting as many winners as we can.
That's Casper Founds. This, Paul, is a gorgeous win chasing home. Kaying Rising last time, and was the HKSAR Chief Executives Cup in pretty ordinary conditions. Harmony and Blessed raced wide, and gorgeous win, lot more weight, but a much better draw, and no Kaying Rising.
No, that'll help a lot, won't it? He's got barrier 1, he drew 11 here. Look, he's a horse that's carried weight in the past. I'm not too worried about that. His last win was off 90, slightly higher at 94, so it's going to have to be a sort of career best to win it. But I think he's definitely going the right way, and we know he can be a really good horse on his day. He's a 5-time winner from his 24 starts, so I give him a good chance.
To Chung Fa for our last replay. It's Midwinter Win running 4th, and Call Me Glorious, who had a big lead. At one stage it was even slightly bigger than what it is, turning for home, and he manages to see it out and win the trial.
Okay, he's a hard horse to get past, Call Me Glorious. He's also a horse that's won fresh up in the past, so that's a positive for him as well. He's won at 79. He's up to an 84 rating. So another one that's quite high up in the ratings. But look, the trials have been good. He's going to be in front, I think, out of trouble. So look, he's going to be there. I put him in for a minor look.
And that horse closing on his outside rapidly was Massive Sovereign.
Yes, we'll look forward to seeing him this season. Going to go with Call Me Glorious though on top. He's got to carry the weight, but I think he can. Call Me Glorious in there. It's a gorgeous win to beat Call Me Glorious. A Dancing Code we heard from Casper Founds, and a well-rated Tomodachi Kokoro now. His last win was off 85. He's lower than that at 84. It did run 3rd at Sha Tin off 88. So although his winning is at Happy Valley, he's more than capable to run a good race here at Sha Tin. 2-5-3-6.
Gorgeous win from a good draw in race number 9. Paul has him as the winner of the second last. Sunday wraps up with the 10th race. It is a turf event, this one, and it is 1,200 metres with Storm Rider on the class drop blinkers coming off. Lucky My Way, first time class 3, but shooting for 3 in a row. Lopan Spirit's a 3-time course and distance winner. Super Legends races well second up. Magnificent 9 resumes over 1,200 metres. Kempes is minus the hood. And Light Year's Glory has his first start out of Griffin Company, where he has a win into second next to his name. So Lucky My Way, Paul, and Storm Rider, they're going to follow each other.
Yeah, they should do, but I thought Heyday, like, he's normally known as a Happy Valley horse. Heyday, all his wins, well, he has won one at Sha Tin, to be fair to the horse. Can go forward. New Future Folks has got a bit of pace. Lopan Spirit likes to put himself on the pace. The Revolution's only had 2 starts. Storm Rider, Lucky My Way, the 2 mentioned. Kemps is back in distance. He'll be going back, I think. And Tactical Command, he always goes back when he draws wide, so I don't think this will be any exception.
Here's David Hayes right now with Nick talking Storm Rider.
David Hayes at race 10, you're going to settle Storm Rider. He's got the top weight. Zach Purton's on. He's dropping in grade. First run of the new season, but we certainly know him to be a handy horse.
Yes, he goes well at Happy Valley and Sha Tin. Things didn't go right the last race of the season, but his trials have been very good, and I think he'll run a good race. but he is giving the field a bit of weight, isn't he? I think it's 7 or 8 pound, but probably deserves it.
Yeah, he certainly is giving plenty away. Just looking back at that Chung Fa trial, I mean, visually it was quite impressive. Was your rider, was everybody impressed by it?
Yeah, we were. We thought we'd take the blinkers off because he trialled so well without them. I just think he's a more mature horse this year, so I'm hoping he can get away with the big weight, and then a sort of horse that will be able to progress up in class.
I guess what was tough for him, David, as well, I mean, he went up, what did he go up 10, I think, for that win, didn't he? So he's been left on, sort of anchored on 80s last couple of rounds.
Yes. It's a hard mark, but he's a mature horse now. So hopefully he's one of the horses that can win with 135 through the season.
67 days since we last saw him. He has gone well fresh in the past also, so that's got to be a key attribute.
Yeah, he's a pretty foolproof horse, I think, and we're expecting him to run well fresh.
And you've taken the blinkers off. Just why that decision?
Because he trialled so well without them, and he's won races without them. We put the blinkers on and it got the trick done, but his last run in the blinkers was a little bit disappointing. So we just thought we'd start fresh, and we can always put them on if he needs them.
That was Storm Rider Paul. This is the Revolution coming up on screen right now. He's a trial winner leading into this. He's got some pretty ordinary form when we last saw him. He's yet to beat one home, but he won this trial, he led up and he stayed on to score.
He can only improve, can't he, from his 2 starts to date, because, as you mentioned, he's run last in both. Now, both of those were over 1,000, so he's by deep field. He's shown a liking for the all-weather, because this is the best bit of work we've seen from him, winning the trial. So, look, I haven't got him in this. He's hard to have on the turf. Maybe with it being a deep field, they'll look over 1,200 metres on the all-weather for him.
That is Chilkaka on his outside in that trial too.
Who is an all-weather specialist.
There you go. So Trainer Lally's calling for him to go to the all-weather, the Revolution. He's one of your favourites. Lucky My Way. He was really good to you last season. He's lightly raced. He progressed so well. He's had a few trials to get ready. He was shaken up late, but he responded in both of them. You go first up.
You have to, because look, I think he's an outside chance of getting into the 4-year-old series. Now, he's going to have to win 2 to get there, because he's a 68 rated horse at the moment. So if he does win a couple, that'll give him a chance to get into the Classic Mile in January. But look, he just improved so much over his start. So in his last couple of starts in the season, he gave them all a start, and he finished off really strongly. He's a real likeable horse for me.
He gets away and wins by a good margin too. He doesn't even cut it close.
Yeah, he does. Look, he's going to be probably pretty short, but I made him the best of the afternoon. I'll stick with him. I made him a horse to follow for the season, so I'm not going to jump off before his first start. He's on top to beat Storm Rider. We heard from David Hayes there. Light Years Glory's only had the 2 starts, and with a win and a placing. Drawn a little bit awkwardly, which puts me off a bit. I've got New Future Folks. Now, here's a winner 4 starts ago, but from barrier number 5, he should get himself into a good position. 3-1-11-2.
That is all of the information. Sha Tin on Sunday. 10 races, 8 Seacourse turf. A couple of races on the all-weather, and the first gets underway at 1 o'clock local.